10 years ago, Violet Anderson was the girl everyone loved to hate. At St. Harmony High, she was an easy target, a shy, awkward teenager with thrift store clothes, glasses too big for her face, and a quiet demeanor that practically screamed victim. Every day was torture. The whispers in the hallways, the cruel laughter, the pranks that left her humiliated in front of the entire school. And at the center of it all was the golden girl, Rebecca Martin, and her clique of perfect, polished friends. Rebecca was everything Violet wasn't: beautiful, popular, and dripping with confidence. She ruled the school with an iron fist, her cruelty disguised as charm. If Rebecca decided you were a nobody, the rest of the school followed suit. For Violet, high school wasn't a phase, it was a nightmare she barely survived. The worst day of all was prom night, when Rebecca and her friends pulled the ultimate prank, tricking Violet into thinking she had a secret admirer. They sent her fake notes, planted a dress in her locker, and watched with glee as she showed up, only to be drenched in pig's blood on stage. Violet never returned to school after that night. 10 years later, she was no longer the shy, awkward girl she once was. Violet had reinvented herself. She was now a confident, successful woman who had climbed her way to the top of the fashion world. But the scars of her past still lingered, foiling her drive and shaping her ambitions. And now, fate had handed her the ultimate opportunity for revenge. It started innocently enough. Violet met Michael Martin at a charity gala in New York City. He was charming, successful, and, most importantly, older. At 45, Michael was a wealthy entrepreneur with a teenage daughter. Violet had no idea who he was at first, but when he mentioned his hometown of Willow Creek, something clicked. "Do you have kids?" Violet asked over champagne. Michael smiled. "Just one. My daughter, Rebecca." Violet's heart stopped. Rebecca Martin. She kept her expression neutral, but inside, her mind raced. "That's lovely," she said sweetly. "I'd love to meet her someday." Michael had no idea who Violet was, of course. He'd moved to Willow Creek after she left town, and Rebecca had never mentioned her. Why would she? Violet was a ghost from her past, someone who didn't matter. But now, she mattered. The courtship was swift. Michael fell for Violet's charm and beauty, and within months, they were married. Violet moved into the Martins' sprawling suburban home just before Christmas, determined to settle into her new role as Rebecca's stepmother. Rebecca, now 25 and still living at home, was less than thrilled. "You're joking," Rebecca said when Michael introduced Violet at the family dinner. Her perfectly manicured nails drummed against the table as she gave Violet a once-over. "You married her?" Violet smiled sweetly. "It's so nice to meet you, Rebecca. Your father has told me so much about you." Rebecca rolled her eyes. "Sure." Michael frowned. "Rebecca, that's enough. Violet is part of this family now, and I expect you to treat her with respect." "Whatever." Rebecca stood and grabbed her phone. "I'm going out." Michael sighed as she left the room. "I am sorry about her, Violet. She will come around." Violet sipped her wine, hiding her smirk. "Oh, I'm sure she will." Over the next few weeks, Violet began to unravel Rebecca's perfect little life. She found Rebecca's weaknesses: her vanity, her insecurities, her desperate need for approval, and exploited them with surgical precision. It started small. Violet replaced Rebecca's expensive skincare products with cheap knockoffs, causing her flawless complexion to break out. She accidentally spilled coffee on Rebecca's designer handbags and blamed the housekeeper. She even subtly manipulated Michael into cutting off Rebecca's credit card privileges, citing the need for responsible budgeting. Rebecca, used to being the queen bee, had no idea how to handle the subtle sabotage. "What's your problem?" Rebecca snapped one afternoon as Violet rearranged the family photos in the living room, replacing Rebecca's prom picture with a wedding photo of herself and Michael. "My problem?" Violet raised an eyebrow. "I am just trying to make this house feel like home. For both of us." Rebecca scoffed. "You're ridiculous." Violet smiled. "And you're spoiled." The cracks in Rebecca's perfect facade began to show. But Violet wasn't done yet. One day, Violet found an old yearbook tucked away in the attic. She flipped through the pages until she found what she was looking for: a photo of Rebecca and her clique, their smug smiles practically jumping off the page. Violet stared at the picture for a long time, memories flooding back. She traced Rebecca's face with her finger, then closed the book with a snap. It was time to take things to the next level.